First off, before we get to the game, obviously a really cool thing that women's basketball programs are doing across the country with the K out and the pink game, play for K today. I want to give a quick shout out to Coach Gibbons. I don't know our math here today on 5 times 36, but I think 180 somewhere in that ballpark. And first thing he said to me today was he was going to make a check and a donation in my mother-in-law's name and match everything that we saw today. So aside from the game, most importantly, the cause that women's basketball is fighting for, very dear to my heart, and obviously Coach Gibbons' kind gesture today really does mean a lot. So I'd be remiss if I didn't start with that. With regard to the game, in a weird way, I think that felt like 2 different games. I think it was 53-19 at that one timeout. And, a lot of things were feeling good. A lot of things went right. You worry about halftime. When you're playing as well as we did, you worry how you're going to come out to start the half. And I thought these guys knocked that thing out of the park. Unfortunately, from that middle timeout in that third quarter, things changed a little bit. And I'm not good enough at the math here, but it was 53-19. You see what it ended up, and that's just something that we're going to have to go back to the drawing board to a certain extent. Obviously we built a 35-point lead, and you do that for a reason. But I just didn't think we came at the same intensity. I thought their adjustment was to kind of be a little more physical, play with more energy, and we kind of took a step back. And I don't know by the time we tried to regroup how much we were able to do that.
End goal is to win. That was definitely nice having that, but we definitely need to work hard in practice. The last 15 minutes wasn't our best. We can play a lot better than that, and we showed that in the first 25 minutes. Like Coach said, our defense leads to offense into easy transition points. So I feel like that's our strength right now, and just locking in on defense and getting stops and having teams shoot the ball once without getting offensive overboard is important for us. So just focusing on that.
When they made their adjustments in the first half, they went zone, they went to a 2-3, they went to a 1-3-1. I thought we actually handled that pretty well. We were still able to score. They kind of went to, like I said, they just were a little more physical with us inside, which I think adjusted or changed where we were able to catch. But you're right. Just the way that we were able and sometimes not able to beat the press took us out of our rhythm. And I thought too many times, we talked about this in a couple timeouts, that we beat the press and then try to restart our offense, pull the ball back out. And I thought we had ample opportunities at times that we did beat the press to just flow into our offense, and maybe that's something we probably have to work on a little bit more.
Sure, I think the first 25 minutes we moved the ball really well and got a lot of deflections on defense, which helped our offense out. And then the last 15 minutes, going to practice Monday, we have to keep a chip on our shoulder with that in mind, because we should have ended the game like we did.
We're a process-driven team, so I think there's a certain thing that we talk about, things that we want to get better at. But you take a look at this a month ago, and we're feeling a lot different after that Loyola game here. And I don't know what our record was at that point, 10-8, 9-8 at that point. We're a completely different team a month ago. And as a coach, you're you know the back end of our schedule. We knew what it looked like with Navy and American and Army coming up. And as a coach, you just want to get to that point and make sure that those games are meaningful and you're playing for something. And I think to be in this position with a younger team, I know what we were picked to start the season, but we're a lot different than a lot of teams in this league. A lot of other teams in this league didn't have to replace what we had to replace. A lot of other teams in our league weren't asking their returning players to I wouldn't say completely change their roles, but increase the roles that we were asking our guys to do. And for us to be in this position at this time of year, after the build and the process that we've had to go through, I think is outstanding. And I said before the game or before the season, this is a group that maybe we drop a couple that we weren't supposed to, and that happened. It was painful to go through that. But I've said to these guys, and I've said publicly, I've said to my family, if we do this right and we do the build that we're supposed to, this is going to be a really scary team come the end of February and into March. And I think mission accomplished on that. I would take this group against anybody else, and I'm sure there's other coaches that feel the same. But I like the way our bench has come along. I like the way Slagus has come along. Kai's been very good up top of that thing. And you see what we've been able to do to start games. To start games defensively, teams have been shooting consistently. Felt like in the teens in some of these first quarters. And, a lot to build on. And if we can do that consistently, then I don't know how you don't like our chances.